So as you can see, we've got this manifold back on. Now, if you remember from the beginning of the video, this is where I thought that the gasket, or I thought this was clogged up, and I poked a hole in the gasket. So here's our new gasket ready to go on, and we'll get that exhaust elbow back on so we can get the exhaust hooked up. Okay, so we got the exhaust elbow in there. For anybody doing this on the 1100 STX, take this bracket off. It mounts here to the latch, and you can slide that exhaust elbow straight down in there without any problems. All right, after a little bit of fussing and fighting, we got that in there. She's all tightened down. So here's the gasket. The hole that was original goes up here. Actually, I think it went like that, if I remember. And then the other one goes here. Very well. Okay, well, let's get these to zip down. So now that the starter's replaced, all of the exhaust is put back. You know, I just realized we forgot this little guy. He mounts there. Well, we'll have to get that in a little bit. I want to start working on the carburetors. I did not buy a rebuild kit for them yet because I bought an ultrasonic cleaner. So I want to take these off and I want to dip them in the ultrasonic cleaner and let them go for a few hours. And let's just see if we can clean them up as opposed to taking them apart and rebuilding them. So let's try the easiest first, but let's get all this taken apart. Oh, shit. Boy, that's going to be a trick to get out. I can see it sitting down right here in that valve. Let's see what we can do. Okay, I don't know if you guys can see it, but literally right there is where that washer fell. I touched it, and it fell down in there deeper. So, off they come. So it looks like we got some fuel lines coming in here on the left. A couple of them. So this is one that we need to take apart first. Let's see if we can just flip it upside down. Well, I hear it in there. I believe it's in this piece here. So let's try to pop this off without tearing it up. Well, the Harbor Freight strikes again. You can't beat it. I mean, you really can't for what it's worth and what it is. You know, for somebody like me who small time does this for fun, can't beat it. Sheesh. So here's the setup. I used Simple Green, so I didn't film any of the process. It was crazy loud, kind of really a annoying sound. But I was able to do 2 carburetors at once. I soaked them for an hour on 80 degrees or whatever this 80 means. It feels a hell of a lot hotter than 80. So I was thrilled with it. They really came out clean. Here I've already got them put back together. The assembly was exactly opposite of disassembly. So here I put some grease on the O-rings. I didn't replace them. Let's just see what happens. So I took everything apart. Everything looked really good. It looked really clean. So now let's get it back in the jet ski and see if we can get this thing running. beans. So I don't. Looks like those oil lines, they just go up to here to the oil pump. They're super stiff anyway, so I guess we'll order those. Yikes. Okay, well, it's actually been about 2 weeks. So the last video left off where we broke the oil lines that go from the oil pump to the carburetors. This was the first piece that I ordered. It's 1/8 inch line, and that is the proper inside diameter, but the outside was too small. So we had to do some more digging, and I ended up finding this line. This is, if you search it on Amazon or Google, F4040A, and it's 1/8 inch inside diameter and 1/4 inch outside diameter. This here is 10 feet, and I think it cost me something like $17. So let's get the old lines off and the new lines on. Well, I tried to get footage of me getting these out, and it's really, really tight down inside, and the footage wasn't usable. So here we go. This is easy. All we're going to do is map this out. Now, I'm going to give myself a little extra because I felt like those were just big enough. Okay, so I think we have everything done that we need to on the engine. What I want to do now is start pulling the fuel out. It does have a full tank, which is about 13 gallons. I don't trust that fuel. I'm going to go ahead and pull it out. I was told it had Sta-Bil in it. That doesn't matter. Let's pull that fuel out. We'll put fresh fuel in it. I have some non-ethanol fuel that we can put in it. And maybe we'll get this thing running. Okay, everybody, so the tank is empty. We took out about 10.5 gallons of fuel. I can't tell. It smelled varnish, but I couldn't tell how badly because it had Sta-Bil in it, and it changes the color of the fuel a little bit. But regardless, I'm happy that's over. I'm happy that's empty, rather. Off camera, my microphone died, and I didn't figure it was that important. I went ahead and changed all these primer lines. So this here is a primer. I changed those. I used the tubing that wasn't correct. That worked perfect for that. So I think we're doing really well. Next, we're going to check for spark, see if we have spark. I've already put about 2 gallons of fuel in it. I think that'll be more than enough. And let's see if we can get it started up. All right. Now, the spark plug right here is where we're looking. Let's see what we look like. Ooh, okay. Yeah, good spark. Hey, everybody. Well, it's the next day. I had to do some troubleshooting to get everything to work. I had a lot of trouble getting the fuel to pick up. Turns out one of my problems was I had the fuel turned off. I know. You know, my grandmother used to say, what you don't have in your head, you make up in your heels. And that never could be truer because I did so much work just to realize I had the fuel turned off. But that didn't immediately fix the problem. The other problem that crept up was our oil pump wasn't pumping oil for the injection into the carburetors. It was very slowly. I mean, and I'm talking 20, 30, 40 seconds total of cranking. I took the plugs out so it cranked very easily. And it would only move inside the tubes maybe 1/4 of an inch. So we have since plugged those lines. I'm going to order a block-off plate and we're going to eliminate it. I went ahead and pre-mixed the fuel. Let's start it up for you. Well, folks, there you have it. It's been a long road to get here for this jet ski. I have very little experience with two-stroke stuff, so a little bit of a learning experience, but as long as it has air, fuel, and spark, it'll go bang. So I'm really happy with how that's running. The next video on that machine is going to be us taking it to the lake and doing some water tests with it. The theory is that we're going to take one of the supercharged jet skis and turn it into the jet boat, and then this one will replace the jet ski that we choose to put in the jet boat. In another video on the John boat, we'll get into some issues that developed on one of the jet skis, one of the supercharged ones. Actually, the one that we did all the work to. I believe it has a leaking shaft seal, so that surprised us very far out in the water, and we got some good pictures and video of us towing it back. But guys, thanks so much for watching. If you notice here, we've got some new merchandise. This is a shirt on our cabin series that we're going to be starting here very shortly. And then this shirt here is the Jet John Adventures for the jet boat. We also have hats. Those links are going to be coming in the Shopify store here very shortly. So be on the lookout for that, dropping on Instagram and here on YouTube. Everyone, thank you so much for tuning in and watching. Your views really help the channel grow. We'll see you guys next time.